All right, so we're going to start today with the packet face front. So we have the title page here. We got Unit 6 equations. And what we're going to do is we're just going to flip the whole thing over. We're just flipping the whole thing over. All right, so we're going to do a little folding here. I'm going to zoom this out so you can see this. All right, so we're going to do a little folding. First thing I'm going to do is from the bottom here, I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to fold it in half. Crease it, okay? Fold it in half and crease it. And then we're going to fold it in half again. And we're going to crease it like that. Okay, once you've done that, you can unfold it. Unfold it. All right, so we have our folds. We got four different sections, and then it would be a good idea to then turn the packet like this, and we'll be all set. Okay? All right. So what we're going to do with this paper that we just set up here is we are going to, again, I want to just go through with you each type of equation. We're going to solve an equation, and then we're going to check it. This will kind of just help us see what equations look like, how to write them out, how to solve them, and then how to check them. Okay? So the first equation we're going to do is an addition equation. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to write addition. Okay? So an example of an addition equation might be x plus 34 equals 68. I don't like that. Let's change it to 78. All right. So we have an equation here. X plus 34 equals 78. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to draw a line right through the equal sign. The line, again, helps me see the two different sides. X plus 34 is one side, 78 is another side. These two sides are equal to each other. They both equal 78. But our goal is to find out what the x is equal to. So what we're going to do is try to get rid of that plus 34. We'll get the x by itself. That's called isolating the variable. And then we'll find out what x is. So to get rid of plus 34, we have to do the inverse, the opposite. We're going to subtract 34. Now, if we just subtract 34 from this side, then these will be unequal. We have to do the same thing to both sides. So we're going to subtract 34 from this side as well. And then we're just going to draw this line here. That's going to be like my equal sign. All right, plus 34 minus 34. Those cancel out. Those will equal 0. They go away. And what we're left is what we want is just the x equals, well, let's see, 78 minus 34. 8 minus 4 is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. So our solution to this equation is x equals 44. Now, we're going to just check that. So I'm just going to write the word check. Here comes the check. Here it comes. First step, there's always 3 steps to the check. The first step, is to write down the addition equation like so. The next step is, let's look at our solution. Our solution is x equals 44. Let's check to see if 44 works. 44 plus 34 equals 78. Well, let's see if both sides equal 78. 4 ones plus 4 ones is 8 ones. 4 tens plus 3 tens is 7 tens. That checks out. So our solution is x equals 44. That is the solution to the equation. Brilliant. Let's try a subtraction equation. Let's try one. I'm just going to move my camera, get a better shot of that. Subtraction. All right, well, for a subtraction equation, it might look like this. We have an x, maybe, or I'm going to use a different letter. Let's use w. Minus, 17 equals 44. So let's say that W was a number of cookies that were made. So a certain number of cookies were made, and then 17 were eaten. And what you're left with is 44. What we're trying to figure out, if in that case, would be how many cookies did we start out with? Now, W, we don't know. We don't know. We're going to find out. We want to get the W by itself, so we want to get rid of this minus 17. Well, how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to add 17. Let's add 17 to both sides. And let's see what we get. Well, minus 17 plus 17. Those will cancel out to 0. And so what you're left with, which is what we wanted, was the W. We want to isolate the variable, get the W by itself. Then we'll add these two numbers and get what W is, the value of W. 4 plus 7 is 11. 1 plus 1, believe it or not, is 2, plus 4 is 6. So according to this, our solution is W equals 61. Let's see if that checks out. So we're going to do a little check. I wish I had moved this off to the side a little bit more because my check's going to be kind of scrunched up there, but that's okay. So to check this, same 3 steps every time. The first one, we're going to write down the equation we started out with. The next step, instead of W, we're going to put our solution, which is 61. So we started with 61 cookies. We ate 17. That should be 44 left, but we'll see. I'm just going to do this off to the side. 61 minus 17. Just double checking. 11 minus 7 is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. And you know what? We lucked out. 61 minus 17 is 44, and that is the same as 44. So our solution is, if W was the number of cookies, would be 61 that we started out with. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Okay, let's check out a multiplication equation. Let's do a multiplication. Booyah. All right. So we're going to solve it. We're going to check it. So I'll come up with a little situation here. Let's say that you went to Tops. I love going to Tops. I love buying muffins. So let's say I bought 7 containers of muffins, and they each had the same number of muffins in the container, but I'm not sure. They were cardboard. They were not see-through, so I couldn't see how many muffins were in there. But let's say M was the number of muffins that were in each container. And then when I got home, I counted them all. I counted all of them, and I got 56. I bought 56 total muffins. So there were 7 containers. I'm not sure how many were in each, but I know the total number of muffins was 56. That's just a little example. So what we'll do is we will find out how many were in each. So I'm going to do that little line here. It's going to separate my sides, make sure I see both sides. 7m is the same thing. 7 times m is the same thing as 56. So we got to get rid of that times 7. We want to get the m by itself. What's the opposite of the inverse of multiply by 7? I believe it is divide by 7. So we're going to do it not just to one side, but to both sides. I'm going to cross out those. So this times 7, multiply by 7, divide by 7, those cancel out. Those are gone, which is what we wanted because we want the m by itself. The m is equal to 56 divided by 7. Well, I know 8 times 7 is 56, so that must be 8. 8 muffins per container. That's pretty good. Let's check it. So I'm just do a little check here. So checking it again, it's important to check it. It'll make sure that we have the right answer. 7 times m equals 56. First step, you rewrite it. Next step, well, 8 is m. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 8. Oh. All right. 7 times 8 is 56. Sorry for the interruption. That's okay. All right. So this checks out. The solution is, in fact, 8 because 56 is 56. So m equals 8 would be the solution. All right. Let's try a division one. Let's try a division. All right. Division. Okay. Now, let's say, I know I like to use food a lot. I'm going to use food again. I'm going to go back to cookies. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to cookies. Let's say that I'm making chocolate chip cookies, okay? And I use a certain number of chocolate chips. I'm not sure how many. But I made sure that there were the same number on each cookie. And what I did is I baked 15 cookies. And each cookie had 8 chocolate chips. So what we have to do is find out how many chocolate chips in total I started out with. So I started out with a certain number of chocolate chips, and I divided them into 15 cookies. I divided them into 15 cookies, and as a result, there were 8 per cookie. So this is an example of a division equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that divided by 15. We're going to somehow get rid of that thing. To do that, well, I'm going to undo division with multiplication. And we multiply off to the side like this. I know it looks unusual. It's a little different, but we're going to undo the division by multiplying by 15 on both sides. Well, the 15s, they cancel out. And, almost forgot. And what we're left with is just C. And on the other side, we have 8 times 15. So the total number of chocolate chips is going to be 8 per cookie times 15 cookies. I'm just going to do that off to the side, if you don't mind. 15 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. All right. So that means it'd be 120 chocolate chips if that's what C was equal to. And then you know what we're going to do? We're going to check it. Now you got to be careful with the check here because you're only going to write the original equation. The original equation didn't have those 15s in there. That was the original equation. So we're going to write that down. C divided by 15 equals 8. All right, well, got to get rid of that 15. That's what we did before. We have to put in the 120. We'll see if 120 works. All right, so 120 divided by 15. Let's see if it equals 8. I hope it does. Now, we kind of already checked it. Notice off to the side right here. 15 times 8 is 120, so I know that 15 goes into 120 8 times. So I'm pretty confident. 120 divided by 15 is 8. It's important to have that little work off to the side. It helped us check it. So the solution for this was C equals a 120. All right, now we're going to do one more together, and it's going to be in the packet. So if you could, we just did a little practice here with all the different types of equations we're going to look at. These are all one-step equations. We're going to go to page 5. So the last thing we're going to do today, okay, is I'm going to show you what it would look like to write a problem when we already have the equation. So we're going to write the problem with the equation. We're going to do only one of these. Let's do this one. So x divided by 4 equals 15. So this number here, if we took a number, an amount, and divided it by 4, there'd be 15. So whatever number this would be, divided by 4 is 15. So a situation could be something like this. A certain number of, I think I should use food again, just because I've used food a few other times before. Let's use, I used muffins already. I used cookies. I'm going to use another baked good, I think. I'm going to use pancakes, I'm going to use pancakes. So let's say that you made a ton of pancakes, all right? So let's say Sally made some pancakes. She divided or shared. You know what? You can put divided or shared. She shared or divided. I'm going to put shared. I'm sorry. I'm going to put shared. She shared the pancakes with 4 friends. She had her friends over. She's making pancakes. Each friend, and this is going to seem like a lot. Maybe they were dollar pancakes. Each friend got 15 pancakes. I know it's a lot, but again, she made the dollar pancakes, those little ones. So each friend got 15 pancakes. How many did she make? How many did she make? So we're looking for the total. That's the total, x. If we divide it by 4, we get 15. All right, so let's write a let statement. We need a let statement. We're going to use x, it looks like. Let x equals, what are we looking for? How many did she make? So we're going to let x equal number of pancakes Sally made. Number of pancakes Sally made. 15 pancakes. That's quite a bit. All right, so again, to solve this, I'm going to do my dividing line here to show both sides. This is x divided by 4 because there's 4 friends. Here's a certain number of pancakes divided into 4 groups. Each person got 15. Well, I want to get rid of that divide by 4. How do we get rid of divide by 4? Well, we're going to multiply by 4. And again, this is the one that looks kind of different. We're going to multiply both sides by 4. So what happens is the 4 and the 4, those cancel out. And we're left with x equals 15 times 4. Let's just check that real quick. 15 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 is 60. She made 60 of those little dollar pancakes, the small ones, the ones that are like that. Okay? 15 normal-sized pancakes would be too much for someone. All right, so to check this, we're going to write the equation. We know what x is equal to. We think we know it's 60 divided by 4 equals 15. And because I did this off to the side, this little work, this kind of double checks myself to make sure that we got the right thing. 60 divided by 4 would be 15, and that checks out. So the answer would be Sally made 60 pancakes. Sally made 60 pancakes. All right, so now again, we've seen each type of equation. What we're going to do starting next math class is we're going to start focusing on one. We'll focus on addition, then subtraction individually, then multiplication and division, and we'll go from there. All right, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye-bye.